also our Ustream audience for joining us today. I would personally like to thank everyone that made this event possible. I really appreciate from the bottom of my heart and Youth Fellowship as well for all of your hard work, commitment, utilizing and volunteering your talent, resources to make this event possible. And because you are great and such great people, I want you to all pull out your camera phone. If you have a camera phone, pull it out. I know this sounds unorthodox, but pull out your camera phone, hold it up in the air. Hold it up in the air if you have a camera phone, and take a selfie of yourself. I want you to stamp this moment and post it if you have the social media smartphone, and post on your Facebook or Twitter and say, I am at the road to economic empowerment, or say, this is my last day, I'm going to be in debt. Now, it's a little unorthodox, but go ahead and take a selfie and post it on Facebook and Twitter. You can also post on your Facebook page or Twitter page that they can follow us on, watch us live on the Ustream channel by going to Sweet Fellowship Church Event. I would like to make an announcement regarding the Road to Economic Financial Education Seminar. We do, as I said, have a great speaker today. And again, can we just give Ms. Tarsha Polk her hand today? She is a dynamic speaker, and I don't want you guys to be shy about asking her any question. Don't just feel too modest in asking her questions about how to grow your business on social media, which is what she will be talking about today, and as well as any other questions that may be related to entrepreneurship. I know I talked to someone here that stated that they wanted to start their own business, and so she will be definitely a good point of interest to go to and talking about that. And now, couple rules or house rules I wanted to go over. Make sure you put your phones on vibrate while the guest speaker is speaking. And the second rule is that I've already said, don't be shy to ask questions. And the third rule is have fun. Loosen up a little bit. I know it kind of feels maybe a little stiff or rigid in here, but just be yourself and let's just have a good time. How about that? With that said, I wanted to just explain what the purpose of the seminar is about. So just give me a little moment to share that with you. financial and living very is not a get-rich scheme, or it's not a money-making scheme. It is a purpose and mission is to eliminate financial illiteracy and poverty, which is happening across America. Over 40% of Americans are living right now in basic survival mode. And according to statistics, consumer debt is now at $11.5 trillion, and more unsettling debt is rising at rapid levels. American debt, that includes mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit card debt, increased by 2.1%, or $241 billion in the last 3 months of 2013. The greatest margin of increase since the third quarter of 2007. So again, this is an empowerment seminar, and it's not about trying to get rich. It's about empowerment. And with that being said, I am so honored to have who I call the woman of thunder, a power tech speaker. I'm just in practice. This woman right here is a real deal. And she is the marketing lady. I'm just going to read her bio. A little bit about Tarsha. We met a few years back through the Collin County Chamber of Commerce. And back then, she was, like I was, an aspiring entrepreneur. And I can say that in the years past, that to see where we started and to see how far she has come, I'm just totally in awe of her. And I just wanted to read a little bit about Tarsha. Tarsha, the marketing lady, is an award-winning marketer, author of the book Beyond the Business Card, and co-author of the book Faithpreneur, personal branding strategist, business coach, and professional speaker, just to name a few. She is passionate about empowering people to succeed in business and increase their income. An engaging and inspiring speaker and coach, her clients come away with a wealth of ideas that will make them better at their jobs and more effective at growing their business. With over 17 years of marketing experience and 10 years as an entrepreneur, Tarsha has helped hundreds of small business owners, corporate professionals, and nonprofits succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud to present to you Ms. Tarsha Polk.
Thank you. There's so much pressure when someone reads your bio and then say they're in awe of you. I am like no one to be in awe of, honestly. But let's give Angela a hand, because yes, for putting this event together. Oops, I can't find your mouse. Could you minimize it, or could you switch that out so that could come up? It is tough putting together and hosting an event. So, being courageous to step out there and take that step or leap of faith to introduce to a community a way to be financially independent, especially from what I call the man working the 9-to-5 job. So again, let's give her a hand for courageously putting this together. Now, cameraman, you're not going to like me because I don't like to stand still. So he's going to be like, oh my gosh, would you be still? Because I have a tendency to move around because I like to engage with my audience and get to know. So this is going to be very interactive, right? So I'm assuming that most of you are here because either you are a business owner. If you are, raise your hand. If you are a business owner, okay. Or perhaps you're here because you're a wantrepreneur, meaning you want to be an entrepreneur. Raise your hand if that's you, okay. And then Okay, all right, fine, that's cool. So I'm gonna, while she's getting that brought up, I'm gonna share a little bit of information or a background about me. She read my wonderful bios. Bios are always good, you know, that's what they're supposed to be. So I'm gonna tell you the real deal, the real truth about me, Tarsha Polk, the marketing lady, how I got all started. I call myself this accidental entrepreneur because my goal was to climb the corporate ladder and be this senior VP of marketing because my degree is in marketing. All of my career, my corporate career has been in marketing, so that was really my goal. You know, I worked for a Fortune 500 company, and I did what I thought I was supposed to do. Went to college, went and got a master's degree, worked at a good company, you know, was a great employee. So, you know, thinking, okay, I'm doing all the right things, I'm taking the right steps towards becoming this, you know, executive in the corporate industry. But the truth about corporate America was revealed to me one day when I saw this position posted internally for the company that I worked for, and it was a perfect position for me. It was perfect because I knew almost everybody in that department. At the time I was at that company, I was in graduate school getting my master's degree, and one of my concentrations was in online marketing, e-business. So that they launched a new division within the company that I was working for. So I'm like, hey, you guys are paying my tuition, you're reimbursing me for tuition. You've just launched this new division in which I am going to school for. Naturally, you would think I would get that position over there. But you see, the reason why corporate America was the truth about it was revealed to me was when I walked into my boss's office, who knew what my career plans and goals were, and said, hey, boss lady, I need you to, you know, I applied for this position, I've had the interview, I need you to sign off on it so that I can go over to that other department. And you know what she said to me? She said, Tarsha, you're very smart, you're very talented, and I can't afford to lose you on my team. I said, excuse me? You can't afford to lose me? You see, I was one of the top 5 salespeople on the team, bringing in millions of dollars for the company and a nice fat commission check from my boss, right? So of course she's like, I can't afford to lose you because you're putting in some nice money into my pocket. So I was shocked. I was in awe because I didn't want to go to another company. I wasn't interested in working for a competitor. I wanted to build my career within the company that I thought had vested interest in me because they were reimbursing me my tuition. Boy, was I wrong. Very, very wrong. So after, you know, some weeks of disappointment and frustration, one day I just woke up and I said, you know what? This company does not value me. This company has no interest in growing and developing me. I don't think I want to be with a company that doesn't value me that way. So I turned in my resignation, and I basically fired my boss. That's what I like to say, right? I fired my boss because if I was working for this company and didn't want to be there anymore, somebody's going to get fired, and it's going to be my boss. So I fired my boss, and I said, hey, you know what? Well, of course I'm smart enough to wait till I got my last tuition reimbursement check, just in case you're wondering. Because I did wait until that, because it was coming up. So that was the last one. So once I got that, and it cleared through the bank, I turned that in. And then I started this journey that I did not know where it would lead. Because if you remember, I said my goal was to climb the corporate ladder of success. So here I am, only a couple of months away from getting my MBA, no job, right? So I'm out there networking day in, day out, going to this event, going to that event, just networking to see if I could get another job, right? But what happened was, and this is how you know when what you think is the journey you're supposed to be on is different, because pushes you into a whole different direction that you didn't even think about. So here I am out networking to find a job when all along every single person he placed in front of me were business owners. Small business owners who kept saying, hey, I own a hair salon, or I own a daycare center, or I own this, and I need help with marketing. And I was like, well, that's what I do. I have a degree in it. I worked in jobs, so yeah, I can help you market your business. I go to another event, and they'd ask me, well, what do you do? Well, I do marketing. Oh, I have a business. I have a nonprofit. I need some help with marketing. So it didn't click right away. It took several months for it to click until one day I went to this one networking event, and it was this man there. And he said, hey, I've seen you before. I've seen you at some events before. You're that marketing lady, aren't you? And that's when the light bulb went on. I said, yeah, I am the marketing lady. And that's how literally the marketing lady got started. And because that one guy said, when I told him I was looking for a job, he said, well, you should start a consulting business. Because there's a lot of small businesses and nonprofits who need your expertise. And I had never even considered that whatsoever. That's why I say I consider myself an accidental entrepreneur. So fast forward, that was about 11 years ago when I took that leap of faith and started my business. And I had some great successes and I had some failures. The road has not been smooth. It has been very rocky. There's been times where, I'm good at firing people because I fired my boss and I had to fire clients. I've literally had clients that were just not a good fit for me to work with. And I said, you know what, here's your money back. Because I'm in control of my destiny, right? Not the boss man, not the boss lady, right? And I get to pick and choose as an entrepreneur what type of clients, what type of projects that I want to work on. The highlight of my entrepreneurial journey was back in, 2010, 2011. When was the Super Bowl? That when it was here. Come on, guys, Super Bowl 45, 2011. So 2011 was the highlight of my entrepreneurial journey when the Super Bowl came here. I don't know if you all are familiar with some of the things that were taking place during that time period, but the city was just on fire because the NFL was here, Super Bowl was here, Cowboys still suck. Sorry if you're a Cowboys fan. Hey, we have that beautiful stadium and no playoff wins, no nothing. But hey, maybe one day we'll get back to where we were. Keep us alive. There you go. So during that time frame when the NFL came to Dallas, they actually had programs for women and minority businesses. Did you guys know that? A couple of you did, yeah. Well, I made sure that I knew. Because they had this program called the Emerging Business Program. And what that program did was allow women and minorities to compete for contracts with the NFL, the National Football League, for various, if they needed signage, if they needed advertising, if they needed cake, whatever, you could get a contract. So throughout about a 6 to 8 month period, they hosted all these various workshops and seminars to introduce the small businesses to these opportunities. So here I am, the networking queen now, going to all of these events and trying to network and meet some of the key players. I mean, it was an awesome opportunity. Most of the events was inside of Jerry's World, what is it, Empmt Stadium now? But it was inside of that stadium. There were thousands of people there. Empmt Smith was one of the spokespersons for the program. And so I'm sitting at this event. They're talking about all the opportunities that are available, and they pass out this little handbook. And in the handbook, they list the various opportunities, and they list all of show, looking at Empmt on the stage, looking around, looking in the book, and I'm saying, wow, they have this many opportunities, but this many small businesses going after those opportunities. I don't stand a chance. And I will say I was very discouraged. I almost, which is not like me. I'm a very driven and ambitious type of person. But, I was discouraged because I'm like, there's no way I will even get one of those opportunities, right? Because I have 199 people in my category to compete with. So what am I going to do? How am I going to win a contract with the Super Bowl? So, again, something came over me. A light bulb went off. While I was sitting there in that chair, what ran through my mind was something my mother has always instilled in me and my siblings since we were little kids, and that is you can do anything that you put your mind to. She's always said that to me and to us. And that's what popped in my head when I was sitting there feeling discouraged that I wouldn't win a contract. So little old me, after Empmt finished speaking, of course, everybody gonna bum rush the stage. So I literally was moving people out the way. I was like Moses parting the sea. Because I was in the middle. I mean, seriously, I was in the middle. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting up here some kind of way. Excuse me. I'm swerving my way through the crowd. Didn't get to Empmt. Way too many people around him. But it didn't matter because Empmt wasn't the decision maker. It was just the face of it, right? So what I knew it was that I had to develop a strategy. I had to come up with a quick strategy to get myself in front of some of the decision makers. So as I was moving through the crowd, I was like, okay, this is a decision maker, that is a decision maker, and those are the people that I moved to while everybody bum rushing Empmt, right? So I go up to this one lady. I'm going to say that your name is Robbie for this demonstration, young lady. And so I go up to Robbie and I say, Robbie, nice to meet you. What a great opportunity for this program. Here's my business card. I host an internet talk radio show, and I'd love to have you and somebody on your committee come and be my guest on the radio show to talk about the program, because more people need to hear about it. She was like, oh, that would be wonderful. That would be great. You see, my strategy wasn't to go up to her and pitch and throw something, like everybody else is doing. My strategy was to figure out what do I have that I can offer her? What does she need that will help her, right? Because now I'm developing rapport. I'm developing a different type of relationship. So she said, well, here's my card. Call my assistant. Let's get it scheduled. A couple of weeks later, she was on my internet talk radio show. It was the most listened to show I'd ever had. Typically, I would average anywhere from 60 to 70 listeners during that time frame. I had 150 or so listeners. It was great, and it was awesome. So after the show, I sent her the statistics because it's online. It shows you how many people logged in, where they were from. So she was all excited about that. Did my follow-up, still not knowing what opportunities were available to me. But in my mind, I'm thinking you can do whatever you set your mind to. So I had to figure out, how can I get one of these contracts? So I reached back out to some people that I knew who knew her. And I said, hey, I had Robbie on my radio show, and this, that, and the other. And I said, next time you see her, just let her know you know me. Sure enough, they did. They said, hey, I heard that you was on the radio show with Tarsha Polk. I know her, this, that, and the other. So that's planting seeds, right? Because I'm creating this strategy of how am I going to win this contract? So I had to plant some seeds. So I had some people that I knew that knew her plant some seeds. So when I followed back up with her to say, hey, Robbie, could you come and speak at my networking event? So you see, at that time, I used to host monthly networking events for small business owners in the Dallas area. And on average, I'd get about 30, 35 people to show up. But when I had my featured speaker was Robbie with the NFL host committee, I had about 70, 75 people showed up. She was so overwhelmed. She said she had spoke talking a lot at different places, but this was for a individual to put something together. It was the best one that she had attended. From that particular workshop or meeting that I put together, 3 people ended up getting a Super Bowl contract from that particular event. So again, I'm planting seeds, I'm setting the stage for how this is going to take place, or for something to take place. So after that event was over, I followed up again, and this time I had a few ideas. I said, well, here's some ways that I can also continue to serve the NFL, and this is what I offer. So, we went back and forth over a couple of weeks of communicating, and then next thing I know, I'm sitting in my home office. I have a home office, and when you work from home, one of the benefits is that you get to work in your PJs. I don't have to put on no makeup. I can, wear my little fuzzy slippers and all that and work from home, as long as I sound professional on the phone, right? So I'm working from home in my little PJs. I still didn't take my little do-rag off. I still had all of that on, right? And on the caller ID shows up National Football League with a 212 phone number. And I'm like, 212 National? And then I said, oh my gosh, this is out of the corporate offices in New York City. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So, I'm freaking out. I answer the phone, all extra professional. And so this was the woman who was in charge of the whole program at corporate. The woman in charge, let me say it again, the woman in charge of the whole program at corporate, calling little old me. And when she called me, you know what she said? She said, Tarsha, I have heard so many great things about you. From this person, that person, from Robbie, from this person. And I just heard that some people attended your event and won some contracts. So I had to find out who this woman was. Right? But what was even better was she said, I have a proposal for you. She said, I said, come again? I'm sorry, what did you say? I have a proposal for you. She said, this is what I'd like to offer you. They offered me a contract. So those other 199 competitors of mine probably didn't get a phone call from corporate saying, here is a Super Bowl contract for you. I did, because I had a plan. I had a strategy, and I knew what my goals were. And so as an entrepreneur, you're going to go through this journey. And some of you who are already in business know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes you have to take Peter to pay Paul, right? Sometimes you may not be able to pay yourself, and you got to pay your contractors first and take your money later. But the whole thing is, if you have a plan, if you have a strategy, and if this is what you are destined to be, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that's okay, because everybody can't be an entrepreneur, because then we will have no people to implement or to work the dreams and the visions of those entrepreneurs. And that's okay. But if this is your destiny, and this is the road that you decide to travel and journey, you have to have passion, you have to have perseverance, and you definitely have to have some faith. Not only faith in God, but faith in yourself as well. Faith that you can do it, and that confidence that comes from it. So that's been my journey. Some of the things that I do and offer for small businesses and nonprofits is marketing strategies, marketing consulting, and social media marketing services. One of the things that I learned a long time ago was being a small business, you have to align yourself with some strategic partners, because you can't do everything yourself. And one of the partners that I aligned myself with is Constant Contact. Any of you familiar with Constant Contact? Okay, a couple people. Constant Contact is an email marketing service provider. So what it does, it allows you to stay in constant contact with your customers or with your prospective customers. And what I do, I've used this service before I became a strategic partner with them. I use this in my business. I used it to promote my events. my list. And it's just a good way to keep top of mind. So the presentation I'm going to share is going to be a combination of how to use social media, email marketing and social media, and how to integrate it into a marketing strategy. Now, inside your red folders is a handout, and so I'm going to, you can follow along the presentation with the handout, and then also you were given this little white piece of paper with some asking you to fill that out. I'm going to encourage you to complete that because I'm going to give away 2 items. First, I'm going to give away my strategic networking hand guide. These are all the steps that I follow to win a contract with the Super Bowl. I just basically put my strategy in a 30-page booklet. I know it's not a lot of pages, but I didn't need a lot of pages to communicate the steps that were needed. So I'm going to give this away so you'll get to fill that form out so that I can do the drawing. And then for you entrepreneurs who are thinking about starting a business or you just got started in your business, I'm giving away Go Start Something. It's a great book and guide. It's not about how to necessarily the steps to take to start a business, but it really talks about that journey that and path that you'll go on to be a business owner. So make sure that you complete that form so that we can, let's see if I know how to work this. This is just for those of you who aren't familiar with Constant Contact. These are some of the services that they offer. So throughout, this is an educational presentation, but throughout I am going to be sharing with you ways that you can use Constant Contact in your marketing. So those are some of the services there that they use. Just a little bit about Constant Contact again. They provide email marketing services to hundreds of thousands of small businesses. They host local seminars. So when you also fill out that form, I'll add you to my email list to notify you about the various small business workshops that you can attend throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area that are absolutely free. And we offer free online webinars to teach you how to effectively use social media, email marketing, and mobile marketing for your business. There's a blog for those of you who might be interested in the service, which I'll talk about later. If you don't like it, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You have access to coaches that will, over the phone, that will walk you through getting your email and social media campaigns set up. And then you have access, because Constant Contact is a corporation based out of Boston, but I'm an independent contractor because I align myself strategically with them to resell their services and help people get set up on it. You have direct access to me, but you also have direct access to their award-winning customer service there. So let's get into the meat of things. How many of you are on all 6 of these social media platforms? Raise your hand if you're on all 6 of these. How many of you are on at least 3? Okay? And how many of you are not on any of them? Only one person. Why is that? Just haven't. Are you in business or? You sell Avon and you're not on? Okay, after today you will be on. She's gonna be like, okay, Tarsha, tell me again, how do I sign up for all of these? Okay. But, these are the top 6 major social media platforms. And, social media is still new. It's only about 10, 11, 12 years old. It's still a baby. But compared to How many of you have built up an email database or list? And that is the way that you've communicated with your customers. But with email and social media, you want to integrate them together. Social media is great. Social media is wonderful. But because email is that big brother, it is the core of marketing. Using professional email newsletters is the core of marketing. This chart came from Entrepreneur magazine, and a company did a study to compare social media with email marketing. And the study came back that email marketing is 40 times more effective than social media. It's 40 times more effective. Why do you think it's 40 times more effective than social media? Why would you think email marketing would be 40 times more effective? It's targeted because this is a list that you've developed rapport with. This is a list that you've grown, and you have more control over it. With social media, yes, you can get fans, followers, and likers, but you don't necessarily, number one, all of your fans, followers, and likers don't see every single thing that you put out there. You have very limited control in it. So email marketing is still the core of your marketing strategy. But because social media is a strong player in this whole marketing game, it has completely changed the way we see marketing and how we do marketing. Traditional marketing is your advertising, your radio, your print, your public relations. All of those things are still effective, and all of those things still work. However, traditional marketing focuses on finding. We spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of money, we spend a lot of resources on finding the next new customer. So we put all of our eggs into this vine, and we're pushing out tons of information to find new customers, and we spend a little time, money, and resources on converting those prospects into actual customers. But look at how much time we spend on keeping them. We spend very little time on keeping them. There's this rule of thumb called the 80-20 rule, and which states that 80% of your revenue is going to come from only 20% of your customers. 20%, this small amount of people are going to build up 80% of the revenues that come in. So why in the world would we spend so much time, money, and effort on finding new customers instead of flipping that whole funnel and spending more time, money, and effort on keeping the ones that we have? Because the ones that we already have, the relationships we've built, the customers we've provided great service for, what are they going to do? If they enjoy your service or your product, and if they're loyal, what are they going to do? They're going to tell somebody. You're spending so much time finding new customers, right, and trying to build that relationship. They're not going to tell anybody until they've had that great experience. While those ones you already have, they're going to be like, girl, look at my new hair. I got it done at so-and-so salon. Or I just took my baby over to ABC Daycare, and the people there are so nice. You should check them out. So flip the funnel, and that's where the email marketing comes in. Because email marketing allows you to engage more with those already customers by giving them special offers, special promotions, keeping them informed. Mobile marketing plays a big deal in this whole new media process as well. If you can see this, it says we have 6 billion people on the planet. 6 billion people are on the planet. And 4.8 of them more than half of them have a mobile phone. Right? Isn't this interesting though? 4.2 billion people own a toothbrush. Look at the numbers. mobile-friendly website, or I need to have an app for my business, or I need to have a text marketing campaign so I can reach these people who are using those mobile devices. And 43% of people who own smartphones check their email via their mobile device. How many of you check your email? Right? Now let me ask you this. How many of you, I'm just curious, before you went to the bathroom, before you even brushed your teeth, how many of you checked your mobile phone? You know, but see, he was like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm asking, how many of you, before you went to use the jar in the break room, before you brushed your teeth, how many of you checked your mobile phone?
Talking about this morning?
Or any day, yeah. That's the world we live in. We take our mobile phones with us to the restroom. We take our mobile phones. Yeah, we do. We have our mobile phone sitting there. She knows. She's like, yeah, I do it too, right? We have our mobile phone laying right beside our bed, and as soon as we turn over, that's like one of the first things we see or pick up. So if that's our society's behavior and connection with mobile devices, as a business owner, you want to think about how can I capitalize or leverage the fact that we're all crazy, right? That we're all stuck to these cell phones and mobile devices. So 43% are looking at their emails on mobile devices. So what that means is your email marketing needs to be mobile friendly because it needs to be short, concise, to the point, and not so long that people have to flip and scroll all the way down to read that email. When thinking about online marketing, the core is marketing in terms of online marketing. It's about eliciting a physical and measurable response. A physical and measurable response. Meaning you want people to take action. You want them to respond, and you want to be able to measure it. So, and that's one of the differences with some of the traditional media is that you can't hardly tell what kind of reactions people take from watching a commercial, right? You don't know if that specific commercial that ran at that particular time is what drove that person to Walmart to pick up that product. Or whether it was the print ad that actually drove that person to, but with online media, social media, email marketing, it's easy to see the action because it's all electronic. You can see when somebody opens an email. You see when they click on a link within your email. You can see when someone likes your post or shares your post. And it's easier for you to measure. So I want you to pull out this workbook. And I'm not going to go through the whole entire workbook, but this is a great tool for you to help you incorporate some of these strategies within your marketing plan. So what Constant Contact has put together was this little framework of online marketing strategies for you. And so the first thing that you want to think about is, what is your goals and objectives? What are your marketing goals and objectives? Whenever you're starting with any type of marketing or even your business, you got to figure out, what is my